This tune's called Sky Blue LeBaron. It's in D. I drive a Sky Blue LeBaron convertible coupe. Paid $700 cash to a guy in North Loop. Transmission trouble, but the tape deck works. Original rims and a Delaware smirk. Got a pearl snap shirt with a hummingbird yoke. Thrift store boots with a tidy snip toe. The jeans have a hole where my wallet poked through. Iron who lives, hell, what you gonna do? Ooh, what I say? Living breath to breath, by second, by minute, by hour, by day, by day. I'm in an alright band called Bitter Revenge. Play bass and make a racket with a couple of friends. Almost got signed about 10 years back. Those days are gone, can forget about that. My hair's long and curly and it's thinning on top. Might cause a ruckus if I cut it all off. Got a 10 o'clock slot at the merry-go-round. Oh, Jenny slinging drinks and her fellas out of town. Ooh, what I say? Living breath to breath, by second, by minute, by hour, by day, by day. We all want what we love to stay just the same. Maybe changing the way that we wish it would change. Some people think a break stays right and true. Like my Sky Blue LeBaron convertible coupe. What I say? Living breath to breath, by second, by minute. Breath to breath, by second, by minute. Breath to breath, second by minute, by hour, by day, by day. McGee walked into the bar, asked for a bourbon from the rail and a beer. Barkeep asked if he had any cash. He said that check in his pocket right here. He pulled a big fat roll from his old brown coat. It was all 50s and 100s for days. Knew better than to ask him how he'd had such luck. Sometimes a blind squirrel even gets paid. Good luck ain't always good luck, and bad luck ain't always bad. Yeah, there's two shall pass, there's two shall pass. Skunkface bought the next 4 or 5 rounds and he stumbled out into the night. He had a brand new coat at the bar the next day, and a faraway look in his eyes. He'd thrown that old brown coat up the pitch into the river, and he'd watched as it floated away. He didn't know what he'd done till he felt for the money, but by then it was a little too late. Yeah, good luck ain't always good luck, and bad luck ain't always bad. Yeah, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. A couple days later, me and Skunk Face watching the news. It seems the cops caught a body with a hole in his head in an alley back of Sweet Mama Lou's. There was a shot of the scene, and Skunk Face hollered. I said, well, buddy, what do you know? Behind the yellow tape among the spent shell casings, there was Skunk Face's old brown coat. Good luck ain't always good luck, and bad luck ain't always bad. Yeah, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. Met Cheryl at a bar on Delancey. It's a straight line from that night to this here cell. Was a good-looking kid from Riverdale, just hit 26. Had a job at a private bank, paid me pretty well. She looked just like she'd stepped out of a movie. My Louis Ma, Jean-Luc Godard. She smiled when I asked her for a number. She said, here it is, just don't break my heart. The thrill of catching lightning in a bottle. It's an ashes, a black mark on the ground. Me and Cheryl got married 4 months later. My mom and dad were not exactly pleased. You see, Cheryl was connected to the outfit in Chicago. I wasn't sure how, it didn't much matter to me. We bought a big old house and moved on up to Westport. Cheryl hired a maid from car to hang. My job at the bank kept me busy. Cheryl kept busy moving Lupe's cocaine. The thrill of catching lightning in a bottle ends in ashes, a black mark on the ground. There are certain things you'll always remember, no matter how hard you try to forget. For me, it's the call from Detective White in Westport, telling me that Cheryl and Lupe had been shot dead. And in spite of Lupe's cartel connections, the outfit's concerned for just what Cheryl knew. They brought me up on a charge of double murder. They're holding me until the trial's through. The thrill of catching lightning in a bottle ends in ashes, a black mark on the ground. Well, I doubt I can make it here much longer. I suspect I'll do my life in this year's cell. St. Peter, I won't need that spot in heaven. I'd rather be with Cheryl down in hell. The thrill of catching lightning in a bottle ends in ashes, a black mark on the ground. Thank you. So you think the story ends there? But it doesn't. And so, kind of inspired by an author I love whose name is Marilyn Robinson, who wrote a book called Gilead, I decided to try to write that story from a different perspective. And you know, there are so many possible perspectives, and because I'm me, I settled on the perspective of the man who actually did the killing. And there's a lot of killing that happened, as you'll hear. This tune's called Well Enough Alone. Remember her from Chicago. I forget what she called herself then. I blew her brains out there in the kitchen. Blew the maid's brains out in the bin. They call it wet work, but that's a cop-out. No killing is my stock in my trade. I was told to frame the husband. He was handcuffed on that very day. Well, you won't see me coming. I'll leave no trace when I'm gone. Oh, some folks learn the hard way. It's best letting well enough alone. The husband had an uncle. And that uncle somehow got him sprung. The husband checked into a midtown hotel. It fell to me yet again to get it done. I left him hanging there from a doorknob. They looked in vain, no note was ever found. Yeah, the thrill of catching lightning in a bottle ends in ashes, black mark on the ground. Hey, you won't see me coming. I'll leave no trace when I'm gone. Oh, some folks learn the hard way. It's best letting well enough alone. The uncle was a loose end. You can't have loose ends in this job. He met the maker a few nights later. It kinda looked like his store been robbed. You want me to have misgivings. You want me to be a tortured soul. But the world needs men skilled at killing. Somewhere in your heart, this you know. That you won't see me coming. I'm leaving no trace when I'm gone. Oh, some folks learn the hard way. It's best letting well enough alone. Thanks so much. I played those two songs back to back at a like a songwriting group sort of like get together, but in a like a pretty big space in Houston. And after I played those two songs, a woman in the audience, and this was not part of the deal, raised her hand. And I played another song, and at the end of that song, she raised her hand again. And so I said, oh, hi. She said, hi. She said, so, the wife was killed, the husband was killed, and the uncle was, they were all killed. And I said, yeah. It's a hell of a story. And there's actually even more to it, so maybe there will be some more songs. The danger of playing a show where you have people in the audience who actually know your song. Yes, I can, yes. There are a lot of dead bodies in my songs. This is Wasted on the Living, which is in B minor. And we'll have fun. This is based on a story that my mother-in-law told one Thanksgiving after we'd all eaten. It's called Wasted on the Living. I was but a cub reporter all those years ago, working at the Chronicle Observer. Lester Perkins was on trial. The prosecutor said good Lester had killed his wife and her lover. Lester was a lawyer. He had an alibi. He said he'd been away at a conference of the bar. The DA found a waitress. She worked just outside of town. She said she'd served him a cup of coffee the night. A couple been struck down. Well, they say life is a wasted on the living. They say true love never fades. A burnt up cup of bitter midnight coffee and a death that'll never be repaid. Yes, the jury was instructed to carefully review every bit of evidence presented. They were out for 40 minutes. Yeah, that was all it took to send Lester away to San Quentin. The bailiff took him out. Well, I must have caught his eye. He stared down at my brand new wedding band. The sound of the shackles, yes, it haunts me to this day. He opened his mouth to speak, but the bailiff led him away. Yeah, they say life is a wasted on the living. They say true love never fades. A burnt up cup of bitter midnight coffee and a death that'll never be repaid. 36 years later, I got kids and they're all grown. Grandbabies are bouncing on my knee. And all this time, poor Lester, he's been sitting in his cell, getting old and reading law books in the penitentiary. Yeah, they say life is a wasted on the living. They say true love never fades. A burnt up cup of bitter midnight coffee and a death that'll never be repaid. I might as well go smoke another cigarette, 'cause you still don't love me at all. I know that you don't like it, but you don't get a say. We've hashed that out the last 10 times you called. You stare across the room at me, those eyes of yours. Even though you're standing there next to him, like you know that if you let yourself, you'd never love anybody else. We're too young for that, I guess. There's so much life left to live. Listen, I'll whisper your name at night as I'm drifting off to sleep. I know you whisper mine, and you will till the end of time. There ain't no living without longing. Heart don't beat right till it's been broke. I don't know how drunk I wanna get tonight. Depends on what kind of bottle finds its way here to me. He has his arm around you, but you look in my direction. You know I notice, though I'm depending on to see. Listen, I whisper your name every night as I'm drifting off to sleep. I know you whisper mine, and you will till the end of time. There ain't no living without longing, and a heart don't beat right till it's been broke. I stare up at the moon from a beat-up backyard deck chair. Voices hang in the air like so much river mist. You sit down here beside me. I make a little room. If anything made any sense, we kiss, and kiss, and kiss, and kiss. Oh, listen. I'll whisper your name every night as I'm drifting off to sleep. I know you whisper mine, and you will till the end of time. There ain't no living without longing, and a heart don't beat right till it's been broke. Mine's been broke. Does the fish feel the knife? That's what she asked me. I did not know. how I should respond. She asked me again, said, Daddy, did you hear me? And the answer that I gave, get it wrong. Yeah, most things seem kind of simple until you poke at them even just a little. Does a fish feel tonight? What happens when we die? Is it kind of like sleeping? She asked me this, and I was at a loss. Driving home from a wake early in the evening, I'd seen her staring at Jesus on the cross. And you can't say no one knows, not to a girl who's 4 years old, does the fish feel the knife? You need a license to drive a car, to shoot a buck, to cut a man's hair. Anyone can have a kid. I send you home, good luck, take care. Does the fish feel the night? Daddy, who's that man? Why is he always on the corner? She asked me as we sat there at the light. A cardboard sign, spare a dime or a quarter. Man, there's so much in this world, it just ain't right. Let folks slip through the cracks. No, I wasn't going to tell her that. Does a fish feel the knife? You need a license to drive a car, to shoot a buck, to cut a man's hair. Anyone can have a kid. I send you home, good luck, take care. Does the fish feel the knife? 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 All right, thank you all so much. Took out the circle, but the traffic's no better. $60 million just pissed away. You sit for an hour, the baby fills her diaper, but that huggy ain't leaking. So I guess we're okay. And at Ferretti's in Brewster, roast beef and salami, sliced to perfection. That IBP man. Folks stand there waiting in tunics and TVs. A little hungover. Maybe 1/3 asleep. On a thin strip of sand, out in the Atlantic, you can sin like the Kennedys did. Provincetown salt boxes shimmer in sunlight. There's a suicide fence on the Sagamore Bridge. There's a suicide fence on the Sagamore Bridge. Barbin and Welfare, they do hits from the 90s at the Beachcomber Pub on Saturday nights. There's like an ad for Viagra. They play Bush and Nirvana, hit on the barflies and get lucky sometimes. And the rich folks from Chatham, well, they don't like poor folks. Say affordable housing, it won't happen here. And in their black E350s, When they've had for too many, they speed on the back roads and T-bone the dead. On a thin strip of sand out in the Atlantic, we can sin like the Kennedys did. Provincetown softboxes shimmer in sunlight. There's a suicide fence on the Sagamore Bridge. There's a suicide fence on the Sagamore Bridge. Hey, the girls in from Russia live in single-wide trailers in Yarmouth and Dennis on summer J1s. They make $4 an hour serving crab cakes at parties and repel the advances of husbands and sons. And on the Labor Day weekend, locals stand on the bridge waving goodbye at the folks on Route 6. Then they head back to their houses feeling smug satisfaction, mixed Coke and Evan Williams, and scream at their kids. On a thin strip of sand out in the Atlantic, we can sin like the Kennedys did. Provincetown saltboxes shimmer in sunlight. There's a suicide fence on the Sagamore Bridge. There's a suicide fence on the Sagamore Bridge. There's a suicide fence on the Sagamore Bridge. Stay in G. Well, Grandma June and Grandpa Joe lived up in Dutchess County. They had a tiny house on a big old piece of land. And that house is filled with books and sculptures and papers and paintings that take an MFA to understand. Well, sometimes Grandpa Joe, he'd almost lose his temper. He'd say, June, this house is looking like a war zone. She'd put her hands on her hips, tilt her head to the left and say, dull women keep immaculate homes. Well, Grandpa Joe passed, and oh, how she missed him. That tiny house became a shrine to their love. And then she started adopting dogs and cats and hamsters. They kept her company long with the good Lord up above. But Daddy didn't like it, not for one single second. He said, Mama, what on earth is going on? She put her hands on her hips, tilted her head to the left and said, dull women keep immaculate homes. She said, oh, I've been so blessed. There's joy in this life and you can find it. Going to make a mess. lost Grandma June a year ago November. I hadn't cried like that since I was just a kid. We all met up at Uncle Milton's and drank and sang together, told off-colored jokes like Grandma June would have did. Then we buried her in the cemetery right next to her beloved. And Daddy wouldn't say just what he put on her gravestone. I read the epitaph and there etched in grannies, dull women keep immaculate homes. Dull women keep immaculate homes. So again, the new album is coming out in November. It's called Leave the Light On. We were very quick about it this time. We were very quick about it last time. But this time, we recorded, again, in Nashville. We did 10 songs in 6 hours. Yeah. We were working. So we did 10 songs in 6 hours. What you're going to hear is probably about like 98% live. Couple little things that we tweaked a little bit, but it's cool because it's just me on a day. It's not me over 6 weeks or 6 months on different days with different weird stuff happening with my voice. It's one day with just one day of weird stuff happening with my voice. Ron Flint was here earlier, which is like a huge honor because he's so busy. But Ron Flint was the engineer and the kind of the sensei and therapist on my first 2 records recorded here in Austin. And I played this song for him, and the first 2 records were produced by Walt Wilkins, who most of you know. And I played this song for Ron, and he said, "Has Walt heard that yet?" And if Ron thinks something is good, then we've got to kind of listen. So this is Oklahoma. Buy a 6-pack of beer east of Chakotay at a truck stop, and I get back on to the road. I drink one after the next, and I hit my that first sunset. I hope by 40 carries me back home. Well, my sister says the dad could use a visit. I said I don't know what good that would do. See, I've been drinking and depressed and kind of useless. She said it might not be a bad thing for you to. So I'm driving across Oklahoma, doing all I can to stay my own way. I should have turned around back in Arkansas, but I got my mother's blood in my veins. I wish my racing heart would just give it a rest. I think of pulling off, picking up a half pint of Smirnoff, but I hear my mother's sweet voice in my head. She said, I need you to try and be there for your daddy. I know it's hard for you, just do the best you can. And she was gone, just a few short hours later. Dad refused to let go of her hand. So I'm driving across Oklahoma, doing all I can to stay in my own lane. I should have turned around back in Arkansas, but I got my mother's blood in my veins. Oh, 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 It'll be my first time at the house since the reception. I've been saying it's tough for me to get away. Now facing down the dear departed memories. My daddy's grief might be more than I can take, but I'm driving across Oklahoma, doing all I can to stay in my own lane. I should have turned around back in Arkansas, but I got my mother's blood in my veins. Thank you so much. So Laura came over and we practiced last Friday, and we hadn't met or anything. We just started playing songs, and I knew that she could play the fiddle really well, and she was recommended by my friend Jackson Emmer, who a bunch of you know. And we were just playing a song, and all of a sudden she was singing. And it was like I'd found a new room in my house that I didn't know existed.
It goes that way on the record.
Last night I was at a neighborhood party, and there was a fellow there who I really love and respect, and he said to me, so how does it feel to be turning 50? And I said, really actually not good. When I turned 30, I was just like, what's happening? When I turned 40, I was like, I'm not sure if this is going to work. And now I'm just kind of like, this is weird. This is not good. And he said to me, well, these are his words, not just. He said, well, you were educated at the finest institution. You were a successful attorney. You have a wife who you're very much in love with, and 2 daughters who are amazing. And you're out in the world creating art full time. I said, I think you're doing okay. And it's funny, when Stefan asked me, how does it feel to be turning 50? And I say, it feels really not good. And he said, well, 50's old. All right, we're going to play a tune off the new record. This was a song that I wrote, and it was the first time since the preceding record where I was like, I probably need to make a record so that this song goes on. It's and it relates to what I was just talking about. It's called Wedding Day Eve. It's going to be the first single that will be premiered by my friend Bob McWilliams on Kansas Public Radio on August 5th or 6th. And then it'll be out on Spotify and the rest on August 11th. And yeah, it's called Wedding Day Eve. D, C, you know, it's close. C would have been close. Say I love you as much as you can. Take any old excuse to hold our hand. This stuff is basic, it's simple too. So's the sunrise. Do the dishes when it's not your turn. It's not about what's sold or what's been earned. From a giving heart, the unexpected bloom, good and bad times. Well, you didn't ask for my advice. I'm giving it to you all the same. Yeah, we're all out in the meadow here tonight on the eve of your wedding day. Dress in layers, 'cause things will change. You can squeeze your eyes shut, the fact remains. Change will come, and when it does, best leave the light on. Be excited, full of heart, like every speck of dust is a work of art. These moments shared make up a life you can look back on. Well, you didn't ask for my advice. I'm giving it to you all the same. Yeah, we're all out in the meadow here tonight on the eve of your wedding day. little wedding day. Thanks so much. When we after we finished the record, Tom Ukes, who produced it, sent me a note when the master came in, which is like what you use to actually go and manufacture compact discs, which we still do, which is crazy what we do. And the master came in, and Tom sent me an email. And he's German. He's from near the French border, near Strasbourg. Very, very Teutonic person. Very, very stoic person. And so I get this email from him, and it says, "Here's the master." He said, "I think it sounds really, really good." He said, "If I'd had 2 weeks to make this record, I wouldn't change a note." And coming from him, that meant a lot. So I'm excited for you to hear it. I think we're gonna do Blue Hill Bay. This is the second track on the record. It's coming. It's about a part of Maine that I love. Proud little redbird sitting in the tree. He's too good looking to care about me. Duffy boat's headed for the Gulf of Maine. Ain't no joke on a cold winter day. Spruce trees beat by the Labrador wind. Red fox in the yard with blood on his chin. Weather coming in 8 inches of snow. I've got a chronic case of the I don't know. But I'm the prince of my dominion. I'm the lord of this domain. I'm a man for any season here on the shores of Blue Hill Bay. I split up with Janie 6 years ago, June. I could tell she was itching for something new. She's living with a painter up in Ellsworth town. I'm hearing Bernard hanging around. Me and Sarah kinda sorta, but it's on and off. She works at Thurston's, her ex is a cop. He pulled me over one night last March. Tried to make me sweat while he chuckled in the dark. But I'm the prince of my dominion. I'm the lord of this domain. I'm a man for any season here on the shores of Blue Hill Bay. Every Sunday morning my daughter calls. She's working as a teacher down in Shelburne Falls. She asks what I'm doing, I've learned to lie. If you're a little older you can understand why. Spent a lot of time looking at a Blue Hill Bay, where the only thing certain is that things are gonna change. I'm the prince of my dominion. I'm the Lord of this domain. I'm a man for any season here on the shores of Blue Hill Bay. Yes, the shores of Blue Hill Bay. Thanks. Last night's show had an itch in my throat. I woke up this morning and was gone. Black coffee breakfast, not a cloud in the sky. Feeling shaky, edgy, all kinds of wrong. Played brunch at Charlie's in the LED glare. Started feeling kinda dizzy in my high-top chair. But I finished the set and packed up my car, started driving back to Austin. Hope I get that far. I'm doing 60 and a 75, having a panic attack. I just got flipped off and passed by a grandma in a Cadillac. Yeah, tunnel vision, cold sweat, could be a stroke. Yeah, I took a sip of water, man, I'd probably choke. I guess I'm in the market for an SSRI, doing 60 and a 75. I think of pulling off, maybe making a call. Don't know the who or what the hell I would say. Maybe try to sing a little, might calm me down. Sort of better, not bad, okay. By the time I hit the brass, those things are evening out. I try to listen to some music, but it's twist and shout. That's a little too much. The sun's in my eyes, so I was giving in. The next one's waiting round to die. I'm doing 60 and a 75, having a panic attack. I just got flipped off and passed my grandma in a Cadillac. Yeah, tunnel vision, cold sweat, could be a stroke. If I took a sip of water, man, I'd probably choke. I guess I'm in the market for an SSRI, doing 60 and a 75. I guess I'm in the market for an SSRI, doing 60 and a 75. So I found my way to Laura again, but with through my friend Jackson Emmer, who I've written a lot of songs with. He just won the very prestigious Telluride Troubadour contest, and he's just great, and I love him, and I love spending time with him. And we wrote this tune together called "The Salt," which is in C. And one of those things y'all care about, one of those things you don't probably. I don't need you to try and fix this, 'cause you can't. I trust in time you'll come to understand. If my heart had a window, you'd see the darkness, the stardust that made me. It's time to change the weather in my head. I'll fly above these storm clouds up ahead. I'm no stranger to the lonely aches of time. And still these stubborn ripples in my mind. Yes, patience is a virtue, but I wouldn't really know. Some days you float, some days you fall, some days you can't let go. It's not so much the bitter tears is the salt they leave behind. But I'll be fine. The shadow follows every grain of sand. It crawls along with an old design plan. So stay with me a moment if you will. Sometimes love is simply sitting still. Yes, patience is a virtue, but I wouldn't really know. Some days you float, some days you fall, and some days you can't let go. It's not so much the bitter tears is the salt they leave behind. But I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm going to play, I think this is the only tune on the new record I haven't played for you yet. And yep. This is Young Me. I'm still a young me. Yes, indeed. It's called $1, 2 quarters, and a dime. I'm scrounging for $1, boy. I'm scrounging for change. Need money for my cigarettes. Got a habit I can't shake. Oh, just be grateful it's nicotine and not the stuff they sell at Broadway. Yeah, love between the cushions, boy. You check the bottom drawer. We got $2.45. We're still $1.60 short. Oh, don't bother checking that pickle jar. Ain't nothing in there anymore. Yeah, we need $1. 2 quarters and a dime. Just $1. 2 quarters and a dime. Oh, I don't have a license, boy. Just take my mama's car. She's with her man down in Hermosa. He runs his book out of a bar. We'll just head over to Diaz Market, boy. That's okay. It ain't that far. I'll take a pack of M&Ms. I'm sorry about all this change. Yeah, you know me and I know you. We both know that I'm of age. I'm gonna rip this plastic wrapper off and smoke these latchkey blues right away. Yeah, we got that $1. 2 quarters and a dime. Yes, $1. 2 quarters and a dime. Shakespeare helped you write this. It was a rainy night in April, end of our crazy run. We fought about the weather, made love when we were done. You said goodbye, I'll miss you. I said I'll miss you too. I don't know if I believed it, but it felt like it was true. And then you kissed me like you'd never done before. Yeah, parting such sweet sorrow. You walked out my door. I loved you in Montana and in San Diego. Tacoma to Topeka, on up to Orono. Well, I loved you in your letters, with the phone pressed to my ear. I love you everywhere but here. Yeah, now and then you call me from a million miles away and say you wish we were together. Yeah, I thought my heart would break, but it never came to nothing. That busted love we shared, we'd have found a way to argue about the color of the air, and so we wandered through our separate lives. Yeah, love is the smoke made fumes of sight, and I loved you in Montana and in San Diego, from Tacoma to Topeka, on up to Orono. But I loved you in your letters, with the phone pressed to my ear. I love you everywhere but here. Like a picture painted by Seurat. Yeah, we were perfect from a distance, but a tempest closer we got. Yeah, I love you in Montana and in San Diego, from Tacoma to Topeka, on up to Orono. I love you in your letters, with the phone pressed to my ear. I love you everywhere but here. Yes, I love you everywhere but here. Back when I was a grown-up, I had an office with a view of Cambridge across the river, and Dedham to the south, Boston standing pat between the two. Like that Robert Francis poem about the hound. Well, my feelings about Boston are uncertain as of now. Such a town, such a town. If Fenway Park was crumbling and neglected, They turned off the sit-go sign. Ray Flynn took down the Rainbow Coalition. That's the Boston I picture in my mind. Not Christmas addicts, not Paul Revere. No, it's kids throwing rocks at buses and a flag used as a spear. Such a town, such a town. Yeah, my folks split up in Boston. Boston cut me deep and made me bleed. But I got married in Boston. My kids were born in Boston just like me. The home of Justice Margaret Marshall and Bobby Orr. The stars, the burn, the Doyles and the Fours. Such a town, such a town. We'll take the red line from Park Street out to Harvard. The orange line from State to Forest Hills. One thing I know about Boston, if I play this song in Boston, it might just get me killed. Well, thank goodness Whitey Bulger's didn't gone. Here's to Kevin White, the Pixies, and Robert Gould Shaw. Such a town, such a town. Such a town. Such a time. Thank you. You know, it's funny. So to this day, I mean, I've played that song live like a million times. And to this day, there'll just be a random line that comes along that I have trouble emotionally getting through. Like it just kind of, it just hit, and I don't know if you could tell.
What was it? Which one?
So there were a couple of them, and it moves around kind of. It moves. I have a buzz on my guitar that moves around. It kind of moves around like that. So this time it was talking about Justice Margaret Marshall, who was the Chief Justice of the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court. People are like, why do they call it the Supreme Judicial Court? Well, because in the Massachusetts Constitution, the legislature is referred to as the General Court, and so you had to specify that you were talking about judges. So she was she was the Chief Justice of the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court. She's from